you're from South Africa, and obviously the film industry. So what is the film industry kind of like in South Africa compared to, you know, what people are more familiar with, like Hollywood or like in the French film cinema?
It's still quite a young industry. Well, maybe not necessarily young, but still a developing industry. You know, growing up in South Africa, we didn't have that many South African films coming out that that resonated with us. There was a lot of like slapstick comedy films. And also just because of the history of South Africa and how fractured it's been with apartheid, and it's just been a bit of a strange place when it comes to filmmaking, because the audience is so diverse, and it's not like you can make one film in South Africa that's going to speak to the wide audience that exists here, and the kind of the different classes and the different races. But so I think from that perspective, it's always been a bit of a difficult kind of a little bit of a challenge. But that said, I would say in the last 10 years, the industry in South Africa has been booming. And especially with streamers having arrived, Netflix is commissioning a lot of local content that's starting to perform well on a global stage, from the series to the films. There's other streamers like Amazon, who we made our movie with. They were here and they commissioned our film. You know, and I don't think there's ever been a better time to be making stuff now than in South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of like, I guess, like you said, there weren't like a ton of big name mainstream projects or directors that have come from South Africa, but there are some kind of like, obviously like Neil Blomkamp is the one that obviously comes to mind for most people. You had like Charlize Theron, and you had like, what's his name?
Also Copley.
Yes. You already know what I was talking about. So yes. So like, obviously there was some success, and I guess seeing them kind of break through and get kind of like that more mainstream appeal and love and appreciation, did that kind of like inspire you even more to kind of do your own thing too as well?
Very much so. It's awesome finally seeing, like, just having South Africans on the global stage. Trevor Noah, another big one of ours, recent exports. And even in the music scene, like seeing like Tyler, you know, last night she won MTV award for Afrobeats, which is amazing. So we are slowly starting to be seen and accepted more on a global stage, which is fantastic. And absolutely, it does inspire the filmmaking, but I think it inspires like kind of all the arts that are being created here in South Africa.
Okay. And coming up, you said like you started also doing like web series. I think it was Suzelle DIY, Tylee's Diary. How did that kind of help you kind of find your voice and kind of, I guess, eye for directing and like how you want to storytell and create film?
Yeah, so with Suzelle DIY, that's a web series my wife and I started doing together, and she is Suzelle, and I was shooting and directing that, and we were writing and conceptualizing it together. And that was the kind of thing which just really like honed my comedic skill set with regards to timing and blocking and, I guess, style, and it was almost like putting myself in my own version of film school, with learning about comedy in a deeper way, because we just made so many of these episodes. I mean, we've made like over 150 of them, which was just like it was just great to just hone in on the craft and work within the confines that we created for ourselves, but then also see how we could push those boundaries too and be creative within the parameters that we had set for ourselves. And then that led to us doing the Tylee's Diary series, which was, you know, that was with Showmax, our local streamer, and that was a mockumentary on a much bigger scale. And then that also, again, just crafting storytelling, narrative, comedy again, working with actors and performers. It's all just been like a huge learning curve, and just honing the craft, which made doing the feature last year a much more seamless experience because of having come through, you know, all the things that I'd made previously.